What's up, YouTube? Today on the channel, wanted to try out the new card Firehair. I'm interested in doing a deck that I haven't seen, and it doesn't mean it's not out there, I just haven't seen it yet. I thought that Clog could be a really interesting home for Firehair. I've seen Mill, definitely. I've seen lots of different ways to take advantage of Firehair, but Clog is one that I think has a lot of potential. This deck is performing pretty well for me. I still need to learn it, and I've made a lot of changes already. For now, this is the 12 cards that I'm going with. I'm going to go through and tell you a little bit about why I chose what I chose. I used to have a Luke Cage package in here with Hazmat, and that was cool, especially when you got rocks down on their side, but at the end of the day, I was seeing too much Luke on the other side, and I decided to pivot harder into the Clog aspect. So this is what I came up with. Let's go card by card. The Hood, it's a core in a lot of these Firehair decks because of the obvious synergy with Misery. On its own, it's also just great as a Clog tool. You can play it down and later destroy it just with Carnage or Venom. Get your extra demons through Firehair. But also Vipers in this deck, so the Hood is great with that as well. It's a way to throw priority early in the game if you need to. Can, sometimes win a bar with no name. Not as likely, but still, the Hood, pretty core to these Firehair decks, I feel like, and especially in a Clog shell. Carnage, one of the main ways to destroy cards in this deck other than Misery. It's great because it's 2 cost, and even though you're gonna lose power sometimes on it, it can also help clear out rocks. Obviously you need some destroy stuff, so Carnage is really good in this deck. White Widow, I made a decision in this deck to kind of build a little bit around White Widow. It's a card that's not played as much now because of the new restrictions, so there are 2 ways in this deck of turning off the automatic destroy on the Widow's Kiss here. Those are Armor, which normally you're going to play Armor down first before White Widow. That way they don't have a chance to get rid of the Kiss before the Armor hits. Or Red Guardian, which you'll obviously play after. A way of turning that off and giving a little extra negative power to the Widow's Kiss. So, found it's been pretty strong so far, and it has nice synergy with Firehair too, later in the game if you need it. Armor, you could definitely use this deck without Armor. However, there's a ton of Firehair going around right now, so it acts as a way to both turn off White Widow's Kiss and a way to stop opponents when they're trying to execute their Firehair plan, or even just basic destroy. There's a lot of applications for Armor, and it's a good way to clog up a lane. Firehair, what the deck's built around. I've definitely won a lot of games without seeing Firehair, though. She enables a bunch of really cool plays. I love her as a tech piece. I haven't thought of her in those regards until I started playing this deck. But if you play Shang-Chi early, let's say that you need to play it because they play down some early threat that's huge, you can then get a second activation of Shang-Chi in a different lane by destroying it with Venom, Carnage, Misery, and Firehair will trigger its own Shang-Chi in another lane, or you can even double up in the same lane if you need to on consecutive turns. So it's really compelling in that case. It also works with Cannonball. Usually you want to save Cannonball in a Clog deck till turn 6, but now you can actually Cannonball to clog up a lane and then re-Cannonball wherever you place Firehair down. So you can choose to not have to be tied to a 5 cost on turn 6. You can play it out on 5 and then use a way to destroy it or trigger it again while even playing Firehair down alongside it and just get a second Cannonball. Super interesting. I love all of the new gameplay wrinkles that come along with this card, and it's just so much fun to mess around with and figure out what you can do. Debris, really great in this deck. You can Debris on turn 3, and if you had played Firehair on turn 2, you can then Misery Debris and get a second activation off, and just rocks all over their board. You can easily get retreats this way. It's also just a good card for clogging. No surprises here. Debris does her job. Red Guardian, I love it with White Widow, as I've already mentioned, and it just has so many good targets in this meta. can turn off Dracula, can turn off Iron Man. It's really good against both sides of Sam Wilson Captain America. I think I've tried to take Red Guardian out and go the Luke Cage route, but I think it's just too good to not include. And you can double up on its effect with Firehair later in the game. Venom, along with Carnage, is great. One thing you could try in this deck that I used to have in was Cassandra Nova. I ended up taking Cassandra out for Shang-Chi, which I think was really important. Viper is something else I could replace if I wanted to bring Cass back, but the cool thing with Cassandra Nova is you could have Venomed her, retained her power, and then had Firehair go off again. But I just wasn't seeing enough Arishem or Agamotto right now to include it. I think in the future I might go back to Cassandra Nova in this deck, and Venom is really great with that playline because of that reason. Viper, it's for clogging, for moving over the hood to their side of the board, for moving a rock after you've debris. Even moving something like a White Widow, 2 power, as long as you're clogging up a lane, that just sets up for your great end turn with Cannonball, Firehair, whatever else you have working, Shang-Chi. Speaking of, there's Shang-Chi. Usually the opponent's going to be playing something big, a Thanos. I've seen a lot of Thanoses. As long as the right stones aren't on the board, you can Shang-Chi that away. Death coming down anytime you're playing against a big destroy deck. You know, Surtur whatever it is, Shang-Chi has targets in this meta, and you can use Shang-Chi with Firehair to steal games. After you've clogged up one lane, Shang-Chi can do the rest. Misery, super good. Basically triple activations of some cards when you have Misery in the deck. You can get so many demons. It's great to have those 1-cost demons floating around with the hood, because you can play demon alongside Cannonball on turn 6 if you have to. Misery, just pretty bonkers. You're going to see Misery in most Firehair decks, I feel like, and no exception in this Clog deck. Cannonball, our Cube Thief. It's a way to just steal lanes. They think that you don't have a Shang-Chi. They think you have no way of getting their big cards, and you can just move them out of the way with Cannonball. It can take out 9-cost cards, which is a limitation of Shang-Chi. And like I said earlier, being able to Cannonball on turn 5 and then basically activate it again with Firehair on turn 6 is just so strong. So that's the deck. Before we get to the gameplay, if you could give me a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I respond to every single comment, and I'm happy to do that. I would love to interact with you more, figure out what decks you want me to play, talk about these decks, just where the meta's at. Let me know what other content you'd like to see. I'm enjoying doing these a lot, and I'd love to keep it up. It's fun to do as a hobby. So do those 3 things if you can, and we'll keep doing more videos. Now on to the gameplay. Move deck. I think they would not like to be clogged. We'll play a little. We need all the energy we can get, so we'll start with Firehair. Okay, turned off the Vulture. I'm assuming this is Dagger Ghost Spider or something. Now we just need to draw into Shang. Easy. So Heimdall, if Heimdall goes here, I lose this lane but win these. If Heimdall goes here, I still win this lane. If Heimdall goes here, I win both. So yeah. Bad draw. They would have been so easy to clog too if I just drew any of my clog cards. Where are they more likely to destroy here? Over here. And then Shang Firehair, is that enough? Yes. Seeing Negative Zone makes me miss Luke Cage in the early build of this deck. Alright, I think I'd like to start with armor. In the middle. I'm assuming Surfer, seeing a Koye. Oh. That could come in handy. Go for the White Widow Clog. Keep the hood out of armor lane, obviously. Fastos, so this is probably another Firehair deck of some sort, looking for on reveals. They have priority, so they can Misery the Fastos this turn. Red Guardian won't stop that. Instead, maybe we just go for a little Clog. Debris? Demon? No Misery for them. Just gonna attempt the Viper here. No dice. Okay, so is Shang-Chi enough to win? That's the question. I don't know what this deck is, so I don't know what else they play here. They can't ignore the left lane. All right. We'll take it. I'm going to play Firehair on the left. I don't want to risk it into Danger Room. Interesting. Gorgon deck. Ooh, actually, maybe I should just start playing into Danger Room in hopes it does get destroyed and Firehair gets to go off. And Misery. Okay, I'm loving it. Mm-mm-mm. I just want the hood. Okay. So, Cannonball Demon. That gives me the win, I think. Shouldn't Boomer Snap here, but it will. Alright, so there was some look at some top 1000 gameplay with this deck. It needs a lot of work, I think. Both in me learning how to play Clog decks, especially the different lines with Firehair are kind of crazy. Trying to optimize what you're supposed to do with Firehair, with Cannonball late in the game, with Shang-Chi, Debris, when's the right turn to play anything in this deck is very interesting. I love all the lines. I think I'm going to keep messing around with this one, see how much we can refine it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're interested in these Clog decks. What other kind of Firehair decks are you wanting to try out on your own? Leave a comment down below. We'll chat about it. But thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Later.